Okay, so we stopped at Shukracharya telling Bali Maharaj to not follow through, just take back his charity. And knowing everything, Bali Maharaj starts his 20th chapter saying, I want to go ahead with this. And Bali Maharaj gives 9 reasons why he does not want to take back his charity. He says he's the grandson of Prahlada. So Bali Maharaj says, Prahlada is such a great devotee of the Lord. So I cannot, not serve the Lord because my grandfather Prahlad was serving and worshiping the Lord in spite of all the bad things that my great grandfather Hiranyakashipu was throwing at Prahlad, throwing him off a hill, throwing him in a pit of snakes. All those were done. Still, Prahlad was always focused on the Lord. So, if this person is the Lord himself who has come as a Brahmin, little dwarf Brahmin, I better follow through because that is the my greatest opportunity. So he says, and since his guru was saying, say a lie that, oh, sorry, I can't go forward. I was just lying to you that I will give you 3 steps. Bali Maharaj says, Mother Earth doesn't like untruthful people, right? And then he says, um, he does not fear hell, poverty, or sadness, or fall down, or even death. And worse than all of that is cheating a Brahmin. So after saying that you'll give something and not taking that back is very bad. So that's his third reason. Then Bali Maharaj gives a reason that, all these riches that I have, I'm the king of heaven, hell, the earth, but still, all of these will be separated from me when I die. So what's the point? It is better that if the Lord is taking it, let him take it now. Then, you know, Shukracharya had asked him, is there anybody in history who had given everything away to a Brahmin? And to that, this is fifth reason. That is, he brings up Shibi Maharaj and Dadichi gave up their life for others. So in this case, the Lord is asking for three. Is real estate that the Lord is asking for. It is not the entire life of, and he's giving examples of Shibi Maharaj and Dadichi. Anybody remembers the story of Shibi Maharaj or Dadichi? So Shibi is one of the kings. There's a dove and an eagle. So so they were both fighting, and the king comes and says, "Oh, stop fighting!" And the little dove says, "Oh, this eagle is going to eat me. Please save me." And now Shibi Maharaj, being very charitable, he said, "Okay, okay, don't fight. I know, the dove is something that the eagle needs to eat, and it is lawful for the eagle to eat." So he said, just spare the dove. I will give you flesh from my body, um, and and you can eat that. So he cut some flesh off his body, put the dove on one side of the balance, and uh, it was actually Brahma and Shiva who was coming to test Shibi Maharaj. So actually, the dove was more heavier than the flesh of the king. So the king was cutting more and more of his parts of his body, some flesh, without killing himself. But then that was not, heavy enough. And then he was going to cut his own head and put the entire flesh for the eagle, and that's when they revealed that they were actually testing the king, how virtuous he is and how true to his word he is. So Bali Maharaj is bringing up Shibi Maharaj's example. Dadichi Rishi, we had discussed it during the seventh canto pastime of Chitraketu Maharaj and Vritrasura. So there was a Asura. He had to be killed, and the only way Indra could kill that Asura was getting the bones out of this great rishi, Dadichi, who had a very austere life. So his bones was needed to make his thunderbolt weapon. So Dadichi Rishi, for the greater purpose, he offered his body so that his bones could be taken. So there are such exalted personalities in history who gave up everything for the Lord. So those examples were cited, and then Bali Maharaj is saying that I have a good reputation of giving charity, so I don't want to spoil my reputation by taking back my promise. And then he says, this is a chance to give charity and to the Lord Himself. If this person, this Vamana dwarf Brahman, is the Lord, and he's asking for something, this is my greatest opportunity. Why should I let it go? And then he's saying, um, there are people who become poor by gambling. There are people who making bad business decision, they become poor, or by being lazy and just spending all their money, they become poor. But becoming poor by charity is very noble. So let me just go through with it. And then he says, this is again disobeying his spiritual master Shukracharya. He says, um, Lord Vishnu must be worshipped. And if Vamanadev is Lord Vishnu, I want to just give my everything to the Lord because he himself has come to me. So this is a great opportunity. So he kind of refutes all the different reasons that Shukracharya told him to not go through with it. He is saying he's going through with it. So this is an example where a disciple can disobey their guru. Usually, at following the footsteps of the guru and saying everything that their guru or teacher says is the greatest, um, you know, thing that greatest principle that a disciple needs to follow. However, there is one reason, and this is a big reason. Like if the guru says, "Do not worship the Supreme Lord," then that guru is not the right guru for you, and that guru can be disobeyed. So Shukracharya here is being disobeyed by his disciple Bali Maharaj. And Shukracharya, when he heard these reasons and that Bali Maharaj is going through with his promise, he said, "Oh, I curse you." Shukracharya cursed him that he'll lose everything and he'd be bereft of all his opulences. So so we see here a guru who was actually living in the protection of his disciple, and he's thinking about himself. Shukracharya thinks, oh, if this Bali Maharaj gives everything to Lord, then how can I sustain myself? So there's a selfish guru there, and he's getting angry at his disciple and cursing him. And then Bali wants to move forward, so he comes back and sees Vamanadev, who's sitting on this nice throne, and his wife Vindhyavali, Bali Maharaj's wife's name is Vindhyavali. So she brings water in a golden pot. So this is like accepting uh, the Lord's request for three steps, and this is a gesture to show that they are accepting the request and they want to go forward with it. And Vindhyavali brings this water, and they wash the Lord's lotus feet, and take the Charanamrita and sprinkles on both their heads. And then Vamanadev starts to expand. As soon as the transaction of I'll give you three steps was complete, the promise was made. Vamanadev expands, and Vamana means dwarf. But the Lord expands. He gets a yellow garment. Um, his nice headgear, the nice crown, all that shows, and then he expands so big that with his feet itself, he covered the earth and all the lower planets. And then with his other feet, he raised it up where it went and took over the entire heavenly planets. So he had taken over the entire material world that Bali Maharaj was ruling. So Bali Maharaj now there was no other place to put another step. So when the Lord expanded, everybody was offering prayers because they are seeing the one great miracle and Leela of the Lord. So everybody who are devotees were really, giving prayers. But the demons were like disgusted. Oh, this, this Brahman, he has come to cheat us, and he's taking over what we fought from the Devatas and we won. Now it's all going away, and they were taking their weapons. So, so as you can see, the Lord covered the surface of the earth with one step, sky with his body, all direction with his arms. With his second step, he covered the heavenly planets, and no spot remained for his third step. So then the Lord reduces his size. And okay, before that, let's just talk about one important aspect. When the Lord raised his feet to the heavenly planets, he even pierced the covering of the universe. And there's a river that flows between the material world and the spiritual world. So material world has heaven, earth, and hell. So he pierced the heavenly coverings, and into the spiritual world, and then there's this Viraja river that flows, and that touches his lotus feet, and then it flows down to the material world, and that's how the Ganges came into the material world. And we're going to learn more about the Ganges in the ninth canto. But this is how the water, the celestial, the heavenly water, or the spiritual water, came into the world. So, why is the Ganga considered to be very pure? And because it touched the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord raised his feet, and that's how the river descended to the material world. Um, so, yeah, and then the other descriptions of the Lord's toenail, it was so bright. Every devotee wants to surrender life to the Lord's lotus feet. And what does that signify? It is following the instructions of the Lord. And when we go to the temple also, when we pray to the Lord, we have to first look at his feet, then move up. Looking at the face directly, it is like, oh, you're at peers with the person, but you're humbling yourself, but by first looking at the lotus feet of the Lord, and then moving up and seeing his full body. So for devotees, the lotus feet of the Lord is the greatest benediction that they can get. So his toenails is described here, that it was illuminating the whole world, and everybody in the Brahmaloka, all, the Lord's effulgence is greater than 100,000 suns. So it was illuminating the whole universe. And the residents of Brahmaloka, where Brahma lives, they're all seeing this Lord's lotus feet, and they're all praying to the Lord. There's Jambavan, who took his bugle and started playing the bugle. Everybody who's a devotee is just amazed by this great pastime, and they're praising and worshiping the Lord. So the demons at that time, they're seeing Vamanadev and see what they're doing. They're speaking bad words, and they're like, oh, disgusted. And they were taking their weapons to fight. But then the Lord's associates came and destroyed them. So this nobody can fight with the Lord, even though there are many people envious of the Lord. There are many people who are atheists, but they will all be attacked, or they will, when they lose their life, they will be facing the consequences of their actions. But for devotees, the Lord, makes always gives a better opportunity. But for demons or atheists who's using all of Lord's energies for their own selfish reasons, they will have to face um, a day of reckoning when they die, right? So similarly, we see here how all the demons, even though they saw the Lord's great power, they are envious of the Lord and wanting to fight him. And then in the end, they're getting killed because of their thinking themselves great, and thinking that they are even great enough to fight the Lord. They're all getting humbled here. Um, so then the Lord comes back to his Vamana, Brahman dwarf uh, form, and then he comes back and sits on the throne, and he orders that Bali Maharaj get tied up. Now you can see that Bali Maharaj is actually a devotee, and you might think that Lord is very harsh here, that he is, um, Bali Maharaj, even though he knew that this is going to happen, he gave up all his possessions for the Lord. And you might think, why is the Lord being really, humiliating him like this? The Lord asked Garuda to tie up Bali Maharaj with the Varuna Pasha, the rope of Varuna. And so this is just to show how much of a great person Bali Maharaj is. Even though there is complete, humiliation. This is a great king who was ruling the three worlds. Suddenly he lost everything. And then also he's being tied up, and you can just see like how he accepts everything, even though he's faced with such uncertainty and such a bad time. He So it's said that a person's greatness can be found by the provoking situation that they're put into, because when you squeeze a lemon you get lemon juice. So it's only during that provoking situation we actually know what this person is. So until you squeeze the lemon, you don't know what the taste of lemon juice is. But when you squeeze the lemon, something comes out. But if even I'm getting squeezed, I'm getting angry, or I act in ways that are um, not the right way to handle a situation, that means inside me that is there. So that's when the Lord, tests a person by giving him provoking situations and seeing how he handles it. And let's see how Bali Maharaj handles the situation. So the Lord ties him up, and the Vamana Dev spoke to Bali. You promised that you give me 3 steps of land, and thinking that you are the greatest, but you are able to only give me 2 steps. So where is the third step? And since you're not going to give me the third step, and you cannot fulfill your promise, I'm going to send you to hell. So he has been cursed, everything has taken away, he's tied up, and all his citizens, they're getting they're like the Vishnu Dutas and the Devatas are fighting with them and destroying them. So just see, there's nothing left for Bali Maharaj. Um, so um, then then we go to the next chapter. So Bali Maharaj then says, "Oh Lord, I have nothing to offer you, but just take my head. I offer my head. I offer myself to you. Complete surrender." So in bhakti, there are 9 processes, and so Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So the last is Atmanivedanam, means full surrender to the Lord. And this is the Acharya for that is Bali Maharaj, because look, he's giving up everything. He doesn't have anything to give, but he's giving himself, his body and soul for the Lord. So he says, Lord, put your feet on my head. And some people may say, how can, how can you just give your head? It is, how can that qualify as the third step? But usually the owner of the property is always greater than the property itself. So he gave his property and now he's giving himself to the Lord. So the third step was given as his own head. And we see how even though he was all in such a bad situation, he's still giving up everything to the Lord. Even though I have nothing, I just take myself, Lord. He's not complaining. He's not saying, Lord, you cheated me. You said you needed just three steps as a dwarf Brahmin boy, but now you're taking all my possessions and still I want to give. I just want to give myself. So the Lord actually is putting the situation to show what a great devotee this Bali Maharaj is. And that's why he is the greatest Acharya for surrender. And we know surrender is the highest form of love for the Lord, because in Bhagavad Gita, the finally in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord tells Arjuna, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papepyo mokshesyami masu. Means, no, give up everything, just surrender to me. I'll take care of everything. So we see who is a better example than Bali Maharaj, who is surrendering everything to the Lord, which is the highest understanding of the Bhagavad Gita, all the principles. So Bali Maharaj is the Lord is giving the pastime for showing how great this Asura king is. And one might think, Ayana was asking a question last class. Oh, Bali, how is Bali getting such a bad situation while the Devatas are getting their kingdom back? Is the Lord partial to the Devatas? But actually, we're going to see what the Lord says next. And by externally, you see that Bali has lost everything, but he is gained the greatest wealth that anybody can get, that is Krishna prema, or the devotion to the Lord. So none of the other wealth matters, because you're going to lose that. But if you have the wealth of love for God, that is the greatest wealth. So we're going to see how he got that, and how even though the Devatas got back their kingdom and all their opulences, the actual winner here is Bali Maharaj. So currently at this situation, you feel, oh, Bali has lost everything, but that's not the case. Um, Prahlad comes and says, "Oh Lord, you have given the right punishment to Bali. Bali is his grandson. Prahlad, we know he's a great devotee. He has come here, and Bali Maharaj is getting more humiliated in front of your parents or grandparents. You don't want to be in such a bad situation where you're a prisoner, tied up. He was a great king. He was a devotee who's doing nice ritual sacrifices, etc. But now he's tied up. So he couldn't even fall on the feet of his elders. So he lowers his head and gives obeisances to Prahlad. And Prahlad comes and says, "Oh Lord, you have taught my grandson the best lesson, and this punishment is the best thing for him to understand what is most important in life." Because Prahlad, of course, is a great devotee of the Lord. Then his wife comes. Wife, seeing the situation of his her husband, Vindhyavali, is the wife of Bali Maharaj. So she comes also and says, "Oh, my husband was very proud that he was owning everything, but everything belongs to you, Lord. I don't know how he thought he could give charity of your own things and be able to fulfill his promise." So you see how Vindhyavali is also, um, chastising her husband. So when you're down and out, like it's like others are coming and humiliating you also. Even your wife is saying against you. Your grandfather is coming and saying that is not on your side. Only Brahma comes and says, oh Lord, please, this is enough punishment. Please don't, humiliate this person even more. He has given up everything for you. Can you can you be more merciful to him? So Brahma comes and prays. But then the Lord says, "Oh, you actually, I was just testing Vali. I told him that he would go to the hellish planets, and actually, he is going to live in Sutala planet. Sutala is one of the hellish planets, but he's going to be protected by the Lord himself. And the Lord says, I'm just going to be a watchman or a guard there, protecting Bali Maharaj, and he will live in the greatest opulent um, uh, palace built by Vishwakarma himself, and he will be there for the rest of the Manvantara. We know one Manvantara is the time that the rule of the Devatas and the Saptarishis and the Manu happens, and then the next Manvantara, other personalities come in. So in the next Manvantara, Bali Maharaj will take the post of Indra, and then after that, he'll go back home, back to Godhead, to the spiritual world. So he gave all these wonderful benedictions, and Bali Maharaj is so happy to hear the Lord's benedictions, and he says, "Oh Lord, you know best for me, and I didn't pay obeisances to you when you came in, but you have given me so much." So a devotee always sees shortcomings in his service. He doesn't find faults with any of the situation. He just wants to serve more and more. So nice benediction came Bali's way. uh, and all the demons, they all went with Bali Maharaj. Even Prahlad Maharaj went because they can directly see the Lord who's protecting Bali there, have close association with the Lord there in the Sutala planet. And so they all went to the Sutala planet. So the heavenly planets became free for the Devatas or the demigods, Indra, Varuna, everybody were able to take back their positions. And Mother Aditi's prayers have all been fulfilled. The Lord has fulfilled everybody's promise. And seemingly you think, oh, the Devatas got their riches back. The Lord is siding with Devatas. But, Bali is having direct association with the Lord into the Sutala planet. And then the Lord also asked Shukracharya, now do you think your disciple did anything bad? So Shukracharya said, no, he did the right thing because he got the greatest favor from the Lord. Um, and Shukracharya himself was wrong. So this is where this pastime ends. But there is one more chapter in this last canto because the Matsya avatar of the rod was not spoken about yet. So that's also described. So we'll quickly complete that chapter and then go to the Kahoot. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, everything is not in order. Matsya avatar came way before the Vamana avatar. However, the description comes after as a gap filler of ending this eighth canto. So Parikshit Maharaj, that's the conversation happening, Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami, where the stories are, the questions asked and the stories being told. This person, Parikshit Maharaj, who's sitting here, he only has 7 days to live. And Sukadeva Goswami is the person narrating all these wonderful pastimes. So he asked, how could the Lord take the form of a fish? Could you tell me more about that? So he's narrating the story of this fish avatar of the Lord. So the this there was a king, Satyavrata Maharaj, and he was coming into a pond just to take water, and with his hands, and this fish, small little fish, came into his hand, and the king just left the fish alone, and then he took the water again. This fish is coming, and while he was going to put the fish back, the uh, the fish said, "Oh, please, don't let me out. There are big, big fishes in this river, and they are going to eat me. So please protect me." So this this king took the little fish and put it into a little jug in his palace, and then the fish started growing, and then the king took the fish from the jug into a big well, and then it outgrew the well. So then the king took the fish and put it into a big lake, and then it was became bigger than the lake. So he pulled the fish and put it into the ocean. So and then you can see that the fish is showing the huge form that it is even growing there. So could you please tell us who you truly are? And and Satyavrata Maharaj understood, being a devotee, that this is none other than Lord himself, who has come as a fish. And the Lord says within 7 days there would be a huge flood, inundation, and you got to make a boat where you should bring all the seven sages, and I will steer your boat and take you to safety. So a similar story is there in the Bible as well, right? The Noah's Ark, and so we see this Bhagavatam was written 5,000 years ago, even before the Bible. So so the so the so there is that inundation that happens at the end of each kalpa of Brahma, and then when the world is submerged, and it's talking about how the Lord wanted to protect his devotee Satyavrata king, and he steered the boat to safety. So those are that's the gist of this chapter. Because we're running out of time, let's go into the Kahoot if there are no other questions. And a big pat on everybody's back. We have completed the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's go into the Kahoot. Um, okay. So if you have another device, please take that. You need to still be on the Zoom, but with another device to answer, you have to put in this pin, or you can just scan this QR code, and it'll let you start putting in your name and enter the Kahoot. I'm guessing most of you have played Kahoot before. I'm so glad all of you are coming and giving your association every week. We have some new devotees who have joined today. I'm so thankful to have their association. So hopefully we can all learn from this 1 hour we get together every Sunday. So I hope all of you can join every week, which will allow me to prepare, and all of us can learn together. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all for joining. So we have 3 devotees who have joined the Kahoot. Are there more? Should I wait or start?
Prabhuji, can you please wait for Ishwaji?
Yes, definitely. Of course. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Okay,
Krishna,
Prabhuji. Definitely.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so 4 devotees are playing today. Welcome all. So I'm going to hit start. There are 11 questions today. So good luck to everyone. Everybody who plays is a winner because we are all learning. So this is just a fun way to learn. Okay. So don't worry if you don't get the first place. It's just to motivate all of us. Okay, first question. Did Bali Maharaj obey his guru's instructions to take back his charity of 3 steps to Vamana Dev? Yes or no? No, he did not obey. And that was the right thing to do. Shukracharya cursed his disciple Bali Maharaj since he did not obey his instruction to take back his charity to Vamana. True or false? True. All of you got it right, which means I get a point. Thank you so much. Good job, everyone. Okay, Krishna devotee is in first place, quick, followed by Meenakshi ji, Samanvita ji, and Ishwar ji. Okay. What was Shukracharya's curse to Bali Maharaj? He will lose his wife, he will lose his life, he will lose his all wealth and opulence, he will become a prisoner. Yes, he will lose all wealth and opulence. Okay, fourth question. Why did Lord Vamandev arrest Bali? Bali took back his charity. Bali could not fulfill his charity of 3 steps of land. Very good. All of you got it right. Amazing. Okay, fifth question. When dwarf Brahmana Vamana expanded his body, he is called Upendra, Vamana, Trivikrama, Shesha. Yes, Trivikrama is the right answer. Upendra is also another name of Vamanadev because he is the younger brother of Indra, Upendra. So, because Indra's mother is Aditi. That's why the Devatas are called Adityas. And since the Lord came from the womb of Aditi, he's called Upendra. But Trivikrama is the right answer. He's the Lord of the 3 worlds. So he showed his huge form. So that's why he became Trivikrama. Okay, no change in the placings. Where did the Lord say Bali should go to get his punishment for not completing his promise of giving 3 steps of land? Hell or heaven? Yes. He said you'd go to hell. This is when he was testing him. He was punishing him, tying him up. Okay. What did Bali offer to place Lord's 3rd step? Stomach, legs, head, bottom. Yes, all of you got that right. The head. True or false? Prahlada agreed with the Lord's punishment of his grandson Bali. True or false? Yes, Prahlada said this is a good punishment. Bali's wife Vindhyavali sided with her husband Bali and not with Vamanadev. True or false? Yeah, true is the right answer. Vindhyavali sided with Vamanadev actually. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I had marked this wrong. Actually, false is the right answer. So I'm sorry about that. So actually, Vindhyavali sided with Vamanadev. Oh, no. Yeah, so yeah, double negative. But Bali's wife Vindhyavali sided with her husband Bali and not Vamanadev. Yeah, so that is actually not true. I'm sorry about that. You're right, because she was saying the Lord, how can Bali give something that is actually not his? Everything belongs to the Lord. So don't worry about that. Okay, second last question. What blessing did Vamanadev bestow upon Bali? Protection from Lord. All of the above is the right answer. Very good. You're faster than what I can read. So he told the Lord will always protect him, even though he has to go to Sutala Loka, which is a lower planet, but he will get a big palace built by Vishwakarma there and will become an Indra in the next Manvantara. So all of that is the right answer. It was kind of a trick question, but we got two folks who got that answered. So last question for today. Which king did Lord's Matsya avatar protect from the great flood? Bali, Satyavrata, Indra, Kamsa. So this was from the last chapter. Oh, all of you got it right. Satyavrata Maharaj. Let's see who's on the podium. Third place goes to Ishwarji. Second place goes to Samanvita ji. She's joining for the first time and she got second place. The first place goes to Krishna devotee, who is none other than Ayana. Okay, so congratulations, and everybody who played is a winner. And one of the questions is my fault. I was doing this too quick. I will ensure that such mistakes are not made. Forgive me for any of my mistakes, and thank you all for joining. See you all next week. Vancha kalpatarupascha kripa sindhupi evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
मैं प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna.